any aphids. Do you want to see that? So I guess the next thing is, for those who want to, if you haven't already, is to tear some lettuce open and let us prove it that there is no problem.
I've got a question, Paul. What led you to come to the decision that we could control aphid in this way? Because are you taking knowledge that's been gained from other places around the world, or are you going?
No, I think this is. Perhaps Sandra could correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think this has been done elsewhere. Like an IPM approach to control lettuce aphid, using the approach that you are, is really quite new. There's a lot of work on pesticides. We didn't take any overseas work. We used our own information where we knew that there were predators in lettuce that controlled aphids, and so people in Werribee, perhaps as an example, would put on a weekly insecticide in iceberg lettuce until they started an IPM program. And now most of those growers haven't used a single insecticide for aphids, no aphids in the last 5 or 6 years. So from a weekly spray program to no insecticide in 5 or 6 years, that gave me the confidence that there's things there that eat aphids. And for sure this is a different aphid, but to a ladybird or a lacewing, it's food.
Not that fast.
So, yeah. To control lettuce aphid, you have the option of Confidor. You can use IPM as a grower if you decide to, or you can try and use resistant varieties. And so you've got 3 means of controlling lettuce aphid. That's more than we have for controlling Helianthus. We have the tools. I think it's a manageable pest, and that's the purpose of today.
I think not only, I'd like to say, not only a manageable pest, but an easily manageable pest compared to a lot of other pests. Like this year, the biggest problem's been Rutherglen bug.
Yep.
And that has been a problem. We've had too many present.
Yes.
That we haven't gotten rid of.
Yeah.
But as far as aphids concerned, not even found a lettuce that's been a problem.
So can I ask you, have you had any rejections? You've said 40,000 a week you plant, and out of what you've harvested and sold, have you had any rejections at all because of aphids?
No, absolutely not one. No, not one at all.
So it's manageable. I think it's a manageable pest.
Being devil's advocate, I guess, is for some of the growers in other areas where they're managing or trying to manage, say, western flower thrips, and that may well be able to be managed in an IPM way, but at this point it's not been shown that in their areas, so they don't even see IPM as an option because they're knocking every beneficial out because of their regular spray programs.
I guess the situation at the moment is most of the people using our version of IPM, which relies on beneficial insects in the crop, that's not occurring in other states. There's not a lot of IPM, so it's harder for guys interstate to understand what we're talking about. But as long as they can accept that whatever we're doing over here, it's working, and we don't need to use it.
This is the key thing I'd prefer to see, is that people understand what is going on realistically, rather than hearing from other people what might happen if we don't do this, if we don't do that. Have a look at, Tasmania's been a good example of the trials that you've done there.
Yep.
And I believe now our farm, because we didn't want to start using Confidor at all.
Yep.
We believed that it could be done through the methods that you sort of pointed out to us.
Yeah.
And I'd rather use this as an example to show the rest of the country that, look, this is a perfectly clean option.
Yeah. Well, we have as in the work that I'm doing, there's your farm here that we've monitored and we know it's working. We have 2 other growers in Werribee South doing the same thing. And they also made the decision they were not going to use a Confidor drench. There were no suitable resistant varieties, so they didn't use those. And so they again have similar sized plantings of iceberg lettuce, between 20 and 30,000 head lettuce a week. And the results there are identical to here. So I guess what we would like to see is not every grower using IPM necessarily, but to get people to understand it is an option for growers to use. It's one that's been, well studied. It's available now. So, shall we look at some lettuce, or everyone? Could just ask you, did anyone in your search, did anyone find lettuces full of lettuce aphid? I doubt whether you did. So no. So I guess for those people here, you've seen it with your own eyes. You know that the IPM approach does work, can work, and certainly it has been working the entire season on this farm. So thanks again for coming. Thank the Schurz family for allowing us to do this. And I guess, we're happy to answer any questions if people want to stay around. Thank you.